Welcome to the first edition of our SESAM Online broadcast. And I'm very happy that so many of you, of our members and supporters, have subscribed to our channel and have joined us today here. So I would like to first start by saying a little bit about why we are here. And I think we are here because the world we're living in right now is pretty much different from the world we thought we would be living in half a year ago. And if you just look around, the world is looking kind of like this. It's Corona everywhere. And obviously, every one of us knows how the case number and the death toll has evolved over the past month, and also what terrible strain that has put on everyone in healthcare, but also how that strain led to a remembering of the fact that we are a community and we do help each other and support each other, and that these are the values that help us to overcome this crisis in a successful way. And I just want to say that I'm really grateful, me personally, we as a society, really grateful for all the efforts that have been made and are being made by all of you, by all the healthcare community, to fight against the virus and to overcome the crisis. Now, today I would like to address three topics. First of all is our annual meeting for 2020. Then there is a little bit of ideas coming from our society to you, things that will help us to engage with the whole community. And then there is a bit of society business, kind of like what you might hear in the AGM, but before time. So let me start with our annual meeting. You all know we planned to have an annual meeting in June in Milan, in Italy. And obviously, that is not going to happen. We had some communication about that, about postponing it. We are very much aware that probably this year we will not be able to have a lot of in-person meetings or big conferences. A lot of them are being postponed. And over the past weeks, as the situation kept evolving, we had several EC meetings, virtual meetings, and we reached a decision to postpone the 2020 meeting to the first quarter of 2021 and to move it from Milan to Seville in Spain. Now, you might ask yourself, why Seville? There are a lot of reasons for that, but the main ones are that Seville is a wonderful city to go to. It has a impressive and great venue, which you can see a glimpse of here. It has a whole range of accommodations, from very affordable to, well, obviously pretty expensive. So it's really a great place to go, and it has some history in the simulation world, as in Spain, the first simulation activities have been in two different places, one in the north in Santander, and the other one in Andalusia, so in the south of Spain, and we are going to that place. So yeah, Seville will be first quarter of 2021, the postponed annual meeting from 2020. But as you can see, the way up until then is pretty long, and we will not be inexistent and silent until the meeting happens. We have brought into life this SESAM online community and channel, and we plan to use it heavily up until the conference. And we will deliver two types of content. First of all, it will be informations, output, initiatives from the society, updates on our business, whatever is interesting from a society point of view. And on the other hand, we will have scientific content, virtual lectures, virtual workshops. We are working very closely together with the scientific committee to see what we can provide in this virtual format. We are really learning a lot about how to do things virtually online through all these online channels, and you will get on a regular basis these two type of input from us, from the society. Now, one additional information about the meeting in Seville is that we will have a special track regarding the coronavirus crisis, the way all of us have dealt with it. What have we done? How have we done it? What have we learned from it? There will be a special track on this, also obviously in cooperation with the scientific committee. And we will have content especially on this there. And another thing is, I would really like, we would all really like to hear from you what would be interesting and important from your point of view. So please contact us either by writing us an email or by social media. We have the Twitter and the LinkedIn page, or by, I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels lately, and I know they always say comment below. So, or by commenting on this YouTube channel, let us know what is valuable and interesting for you as a community, how we can support you by these virtual events, and then we'll try to accommodate that. The next thing I would like to talk about is community engagement. Now, probably probably for most of you, this is a familiar situation when you know that some things are important and need to be dealt with, and you always have them in the back of your mind, and you think, yeah, I need to work on this. But in the meantime, you are caught in your daily work and you don't really get to it. You always think, that's important, but you don't get to it. And that's what partially happened to us as a society, to us as an EC. We have several important things on our agenda, but then again, the daily agenda comes and disturbs that strategic plan a little bit. And what happened now is that the crisis has the bad, it is indeed, but it does offer some opportunities. And one of these opportunities is to just put a cold stop on many things and allowing us maybe to resurface some of these projects and to start tackling with them. And I would like to say that what I've seen so far is that this crisis has sparkled a huge creativity in our society to do things differently, to attempt new things that we all knew were necessary, but we just didn't get to do them. And I would like to announce a first initiative of our society that has been brought up from within the EC, and that would be a survey. We would like to know, to learn all together, because the results will not be for us, the results will be for everyone. We would like to know where in Europe and worldwide, which activities related to the coronavirus crisis are taking place? What are you doing? How are you doing it? Kind of a prequel to the coronavirus track in Seville. So we will be sending this survey out shortly. We will invite every one of you in the community to contribute to this. And when I'm saying community, and this is very important for me, I'm not meaning just SESAM members. I'm really meaning the broad healthcare and educational community. So if you have colleagues that are not SESAM members yet, please reach out to them. Tell them, look, there is this survey, there are these events by this society. Maybe it's interesting for you. So reach out to your colleagues and maybe they will get engaged with us. Maybe they will find this helpful. And that's what we're really aiming at. And the second part of this survey will be a question to all of you, basically to all of you who are members of SESAM, but I know of similar initiatives, so I think even it works even if you are not member of SESAM, but maybe member of other societies. If you are willing, please upload your scenarios, your templates for doing things on our knowledge platform on Iris, so it can be shared with the whole public. So this will be a question in the questionnaire. Are you willing to share this with the whole community? And if yes, then please go ahead and upload it on Iris. This is the initiative from the society. And now I will come to two aspects of our society business, internal society business, like kind of what we're talking about in the AGM. The first thing are the elections. Probably you are aware that this year we would have elections for two positions. That would be the vice president. The term of the vice president is ending, and the president-elect. Now, the thing is, our bylaws say we need to have an in-person AGM. So people meeting in a room voting. That's the only valid AGM represented in our bylaws. So we will not have that, obviously, in June. And we will not have that, obviously, until Seville. And because of this, we decided to just not have elections until then, not change anything in the EC structure until then. And as soon as we'll have the regular AGM, we'll have the elections just as stated by the bylaws, and then we will obviously change the structure of the EC. As a side note, because this crisis helps us to learn a lot, as a side note, as we are working on new bylaws currently, we will have a look into it, into the legislation, into the possibilities of having electronic voting, virtual AGMs, things like that, that would allow us to do an election even without an in-person AGM. I don't know how this will work. We're looking into it. We just wanted to give you a heads up on this. So this is this about the elections. And the second subject, also very AGM-like, are our finances. And I'm sure all of you are interested and maybe concerned about the financial stability of our society. And I find it interesting or even amusing that it's always me who's coming in front of you and talking about financial stability. Anyway, it is definitely a challenge to have the meeting postponed. The meeting is important to our society's finances. While having said this, obviously, the whole of the EC, in collaboration with WordSpan, we are working on ways to mitigate this, the effects of the postponement. We have found several ways to do this. And just to give you an example, we are looking at different revenue streams. We are looking at cutting some costs down. And one of the very concrete measures we are going to do is to postpone for a while until, well, late this year, the employment of our executive director. You know, we have been talking about this last year in the AGM. And so we do not have expenses for something that is not quite workable yet, because onboarding is difficult in these times. So while I can't really give you numbers, and this is not an AGM, it's a public channel, so even if I could, I wouldn't. I just want to tell you that we are really working on this. We have a plan. It looks financially viable and stable, so you do not have to be worried about, you know, the existence of our society in the next year when we go to Seville. And I believe this is it, basically. I'm through with my information from society, from EC, from scientific committee. Please stay with us now. We have a 10 minutes Q&A session. Please send us your questions by commenting below, and we'll be here answering your questions live. Thank you very much, and see you in the quick Q&A. So,
hi everyone.
Hi everyone. Happy to see you here, or for you to see us. Before your questions pour in, I would like to ask a question to David. So David, would you like maybe to reveal the exact dates of the meeting we'll have in Seville?
Yes, with pleasure. So it's truly exciting. So currently we're planning to have the meeting the week of the 12th to the 16th of April, with the 3 meeting days being the 14th to the 16th of April. But I would encourage people to keep that whole week free, because like with most of our meetings, we're trying to reconsider some exciting opportunities around the meeting for people to partake. I'm deeply sorry that the Giro di SESAM will not be happening in Italy. But yeah, so we'll see if we can get a similar event, the Giro di Seville or something like that, the weekend after.
Well, it can still be the Giro di SESAM. We didn't call it Giro di We've got a question regarding the cooperation between the scientific committee and the AIS editorial board. I'm sure that there will be a cooperation. To be very honest, I haven't given it a deep thought yet, because it just came up. But there is, because these are the two scientific sides of the society, there certainly will be a cooperation. Would you like to add something, David?
Yeah, no, just to reassure Willem that those conversations have already started. So Gabe, certainly, and Carla have been amongst our leadership group discussing how we reimagine the SESAM meeting, and, you know, in terms of structuring it, what it would look like. So yes, the short answer.
I've just received also a correction. It will not be the Giro di SESAM. It will be Vuelta. Yeah. So
yeah, my oversight.
So maybe In waiting for another question, I would like to address something that we already discussed with the scientific committee, and that is that all abstracts accepted for Milan will be obviously carried over to Seville, because it's the postponed meeting, so you don't have to worry about your abstract if it has been accepted. However, should you wish to submit an actualized version of your abstract, because maybe it was work in progress or something like that, feel free to do so. So that's what the scientific committee would like to have me tell you all.
Mark, do you think it's worth just talking about some of the additional elements that the scientific committee has already started exploring?
Yeah, certainly. So as I mentioned in the presentation, there will be a special COVID-19 track, and as we are in Spain, there will be also a Spanish track, and for these we will have a new abstract submission. So expect the abstract submission for these extra tracks to be opened beginning of August, roundabout. This is earlier than you would normally expect an abstract submission for the SESAM meeting, because everything is moved to earlier. So be on your watch for 1st or 2nd of August for the beginning, and then you will be able to submit abstracts about for the Spanish track and for the COVID-19 track. Also, maybe when I'm saying, because I'm talking about things that will happen in the near future, be sure to keep in mind the 20th of May, which is the next SESAM online transmission. I don't know how to call it, but anyway, the next SESAM online event. We will, of course, be sending information about this beforehand, but just remember the 20th of May. So, David, looking at this, what do you think about the way we are doing this new channel? We have the SESAM Online and the newsletter. Maybe explain a little bit about this.
Yeah, so I think what we're working with, and I think Mark is rightly being cautious in not divulging too much at the moment. What we together with the scientific committee are working on to replace, I guess, our event or the face-to-face event in June, is to reimagine useful virtual sort of elements, or if you like, a curriculum that SESAM will be delivering with these online meetings. So I guess what would be very helpful from your perspective is that's those of you on the call, whether you call it a call or whatever you call it, in the meeting at the moment. What are the elements that you would like to see addressed in these meetings as we try and have them regularly over the next 12 months?
I see there is an active discussion in the chat of our channel. As I said in the video presentation, please do that, and we will look through the channel and find subjects that are interesting for the community, and we will be doing SESAM online sessions, especially on these subjects. Now, I see we've got a question about iris. I will start describing this a little bit, and then I will hand over to you, David. I think you know Iris better than I do, as you've been working longer with it. So just the frame, Iris is a online repository and learning platform, maybe that's how I can call it, which is free for all SESAM members. And in the current situation, Iris has been offering free resources regarding the coronavirus simulations, resources about that to basically everyone. The platform is free for use to every SESAM member. If you go to our website, log in with your membership account, then you just can click a button, Iris, and you go into Iris, and you can find there different resources, chat rooms, basically a lot of stuff like on any learning platform. David, maybe you could dive deeper into this. You know the platform better.
Yeah, so I think what's already, you may have, those of you who are on Twitter would have seen that Iris or TWME8 have put some tweets out on that. They are working on trying to amalgamate content specifically around COVID that people would could have found useful. That's within that. And what we have seen is people designing scenarios. There is a capacity already. It's changed. So if you haven't been in recently, you should go have a look. What's starting to come online currently, I believe it's English and French at the moment, but there is an ability to change the text between languages now, which is new to the platform. So if you look at the top of the toolbar, there's a button that you click and it changes the languages. So it allows you, I think, which is something that people struck, because the platform, like SESAM, I guess, at the moment, the official language is English. But we are mindful of that and are in constant dialogue with the company to make that more user-friendly, because we are aware that within the society we have a diverse language pool. So I know they are actively looking at Spanish at the moment, and other languages will certainly will come on board with regards to that. So yeah, I think it's worth, what would be, if there is an appetite, what we could do, if people let us know, we could try and instruct or work with a company to, in one of these sessions, do a webinar, if you like, on the use of Iris to try and help people to get more familiar with it, how to see the resources and how to use it, not just for scenario design for standardized patients and simulated, also mannequins, if you wish, based simulation, but also in terms of sharing other educational resources on the platform.
Okay, so I think that's a very good idea. It also ties in with a question we received from Peter about the content that will be presented on this channel. And I would like to say that I fully agree with your suggestion, Peter, about scientific content. And yes, it will be a mixture of things regarding the society, and scientific content like online lectures or similar things. So it will not be just like we are today, a community engagement discussion. We definitely plan, and we will do this obviously in close cooperation with the scientific committee, but we definitely plan to provide scientific content in the form of online lectures or whatever we manage to get working, and we will announce this always around a month before the event, so the date and the content that will be delivered on that date, so people can plan for it and yeah, arrange the free time. And regarding the duration, it will be around about 30 to 45 minutes every time, maybe up to an hour, so we don't take too much time up for the people. I just got a message, so if you like to send suggestions or ideas, please do so to the SESAM at WorldSpan address. I will put that onto the YouTube chat so you can read it from there. You don't need to remember it. So we can gather all of these ideas and suggestions and work from there. David, you're muted. I'm sorry. You're muted.
Well, I had to show at some point, because that is part of the bingo, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is, definitely. Everyone is cheering now.
So I just wanted to Mary Salama from Birmingham asked the questions around long-term or long-distance simulation. In fact, there is tonight, there is a web chatter similar to this from Illinois Health with Christine, and now I've annoyingly forgotten her surname, Park, Christine Park, the center that she directs. I believe the web chat's full, but they will be making that available. And what we'll do, as soon as they make that available, resource available online, we will tweet a link to that through the SESAM Twitter account.
Okay, thanks. So I would encourage us all, and I think this is a very good opportunity to use this virtual channel, and the fact that David is sitting in his hospital in the UK and I'm sitting here in Munich, and still we're on the same screen. I would really like to encourage all of us to make the best use of these modern technologies and the opportunities they give us with webcasts, with Twitter, to communicate and create this momentum. I've seen tremendous Twitter activity, and I see a great engagement here on the channel, and let's continue and take this away as a good message to just go forward and use this modern technology. Whenever someone knows about an online event taking place, just share it. You can always tag our SESAM Twitter account, and then we will distribute it, or send us an email or whatever, so we can act also as a hub of knowledge, distributing whatever you individually might know. I see we don't have any more questions, so I would slowly try to wrap this up. David, do you have any more messages for our attendance?
No, just thank you very much for taking time to meet with us during what is undoubtedly busy schedules for all of us, trying to balance all of the different things. Please stay safe. Hopefully we can share a cerveza soon. And yeah, I'll hand over to Mark now to close with his ukulele serenade that he was planning.
Thank you, David. I love this introduction, and let me just grab my guitar. I think SESAM might run out of members if I do that. My musical talents are renowned for being terrible. So no, thank you all very much for joining us here today. There was a question, the recording will be online, so you can re-watch it or see the beginning if you missed it. And I hope to see lots of activity online and to see many people to the next online streaming on the 20th of May. Thank you very much, and stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.